Hey guys, it's Zara for my channel. And I got a request from a friend of mine to kind of describe different kinds of people within the LGBT community. And probably a lot of you won't know what I'm talking about watching this video, but in Toronto, there's this group called Gender Journeys that trans people do. It's very informative. I did it, I loved it, made a lot of good friends there. And it's pretty much it's like a big step in the transition around here. Well, from that, there's a lot of papers that they gave us. I don't know where they are, they're scattered. But this sheet here is pretty much full of definitions. And these are all, like, the scientific, I guess, whatever, definitions of people in the LGBT community. This has got lots of different definitions in it for things like androgynous, which, while there are simple ones, I've been asked to do the more difficult ones that people may not know. Bisexual, butch, femme. It's actually funny, because in here, femme is described as, like, a girly girl lesbian, but I've always known femme to be, like, the very feminine gay man. But I guess that's not what it means. Well, I'm going to get to the ones that my friend wanted to know about. If I can find them. And things like SRS. You may or may not know, SRS stands for sexual reassignment surgery. The surgery most trans people go through. Or that trans people go through. MTF, male to female, transsexual, FTM, vice versa, female to male. My friend wanted to know the difference between transgender and transsexual. And I've added a few more in there, just to be helpful. Where did I put it? I just had it. Okay. So, in this, it says, a transsexual man or woman has an intuitive, lifelong conviction that he or she is really of the opposite gender to that assigned at birth. Experiences acute gender discomfort, gender dysphoria, and is thereby driven to modify his or her body by means of corrective medical intervention, hormonal treatment, and sexual reassignment surgery. So that the body, sex, can be in sync with the mind, gender. In the past, most, and even still now, some transsexuals prefer not to come out, but instead blend in as regular men, or not regular, it says regular here, but we're regular too. Biological men and women. As the case may be. Transsexuals can be any sexual orientation, including asexual, bisexual, polysexual, or attracted to other transsexuals. And in fact, many more are now coming out as trans queers, gay trans men, and lesbian trans women. Distinct from transgendered and much rarer, however, some transsexuals also adopt this umbrella term to describe themselves. Where was transgender? There it is. There isn't as big a definition for transgender. This is only for male, but I guess it would be vice versa for female. A genetic male who lives full or part-time as a woman, often taking female hormones and might also obtain breast implants, but who still has a penis. Now this I don't fully agree with because, well, obviously I still do. I don't want to my whole life. Hopefully, I would love if it could be gone as soon as possible. Tomorrow of course, I would love life. But for now, I still have it. But I'm transsexual. I'm not what they're describing as transgender, because I think they should define it as, like, do you want to live the rest of your life with that part? You know, not do you still have it now, because it all takes steps to get there, right? And I'm just not super far in the whole process yet. But they should define it so that trans women who want to keep that male part, they would be transgender. And who want to have SRS, there would be transsexual. I also added transvestite in there just because a lot of people don't know this stuff, so transvestite is pretty much another word for crossdresser, and that's really all it says about it. We all know what a crossdresser is, like somebody who is, well, it doesn't really work vice versa, because when a girl dresses like a guy, like, it's just, that's common. But so a crossdresser is a guy wearing dresses and stuff, heels, going out to clubs. Well, maybe not necessarily. Maybe they just keep it in their room. I don't know. But a guy who likes to wear girls' clothes. There was one more I wanted to do, because I think it kind of relates to me. And sorry I'm kind of rushing through this. I don't know. I'm just rushing through it. Transphobia. That is obvious what it means. It's the same as, like, biphobia, homophobia. A form of discrimination based on fear, ignorance, and hatred direct against transsexual, transgender, and two-spirit people. Perpetrators of this form of prejudice can be straight, gay, lesbian, bisexual, or polysexual. So after I'll explain what two-spirit means, because you don't know, and I just said it. But I added this word because there's also internalized transphobia. And I feel that I kind of have that myself, unfortunately. Fuck, this is really hot. Unfortunately, I feel that I myself kind of am internally transphobic. Internalized transphobia can occur when individual trans persons internalize society's stigmatization as guilt, shame, poor self-esteem, or a negative body image. The opposite of trans-positive and trans-friendly. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't call it internalized transphobia. It's just, I mean, how many people are self-conscious about their body? And that's really what I am, like. But I am worried that I won't be, like, as... It probably sounds bad that, like, that I won't be as pretty as the other girls. That sounds bad. Never mind. I didn't say that. Or also that, like, straight men are gonna have a hard time wanting me. Where I am now, they really don't. Unfortunately, and that breaks my little heart. But yeah, I wanted to add that for that reason, because I didn't know what internalized transphobia was until I read this. And it kind of, I guess, relates to me. So, as I said, I would define two-spirit people too, because there's actually a vast list of definitions here about LGBT community. But I can't read all of them, because as you can see, it's pages and pages. Okay, what was I gonna read? Two-spirit people. Also known as birdash, mostly referring to androgynous-born males, but also to females, or Amazons, exclusively referring to androgynous-born females, by European colonists, but the term birdash is not embraced by the very people it purports to describe. Often these people were shamans, spiritual healers in their communities. Many modern-day transsexual or transgender people of African or Aboriginal origin prefer the descriptor two-spirit to capture their true personae as two genders and two sexes, instead of the Western world's more limiting binary perspective largely experienced by transsexuals. So, pretty much in, I guess, African and Aboriginal cultures, they don't see trans people as the opposite gender that their body was born as, but they're both. They're a man and a woman, I guess. So, those are just a couple of definitions of people in the LGBT community. hopefully that was helpful, because even some of this stuff I didn't know. So, it helped me. If there's any more you want to know, I guess, comment. Okay. ZARAharley, peace out.